Who is it? Oh, what the hold on.
Hey,
This security.
YouTube pranks are hilarious. I just did something at your expense. What? Why aren't you laughing? Yo, why aren't you laughing? Why aren't you laughing? That was hilarious. Now, to be fair, YouTube streamer pranksters, there's levels to it. Sometimes it's kind of a wholesome, oh, I was fooling you. It's a prank. You know, there's some big reveal. They hug it out. It's like, dude, it was a prank. It's fine. And then there's pretending to swat a streamer. Something that has unironically ended with people being killed over in real life. So for context here, there was a stream midway through with FaZe Adapt and a streamer called Maya. And then suddenly there was a very, very loud knock at the door.
Who is it?
At first, obviously, you hear a knock when streaming. You think, what is that? What's going on? Your mind kind of races, thinking, is that a friend? Is that someone I know? And then they tell whoever's knocking that they can't come in through that door, most likely because they're streaming.
You gotta walk around. Oh, what?
And when they say that, they get no response. And the thing is, that is like the setup for basically any single horror movie I have seen in the past 5 years. A film that has just left cinemas and has came out as like video on demand. Like I watched it the other night and there's like the main character, she's home and then there's a knock on the door. She says, who is it? And there's no reply.
Jesus what?
Hello, how are you?
So reasonably, you would be pretty scared. Again, like if you heard a knock and no one replies when you ask, you know, who is it? You can't use that door. That would mess with anyone. So the stream is muted and then you can see what looks to be 4 police officers walking in. And then 2 of them are wearing balaclavas and they go upstairs, apparently to search the house. And then the 2 unmasked officers start to talk to Adapt and Maya.
How many people are in the house right now?
Oh, I don't know. Probably like 9, 10.
Now, Maya kind of wises up that, you know, she could possibly be in danger or, you know, if things go sideways. So she does unmute the stream. Not for a clip farm. It's not for a clip farm. Don't worry. I guess the sense of it would be, you know, if something would happen, at least people, like thousands of people or tens of thousands of people would be able to see it and then actually like report it, call the authorities over it. And I think that's really telling. Like it shows how scared they are, that they basically feel like they need to willingly collect proof of what's happening. Because again, like you have police come in and then people wearing balaclavas. It's like, you know, my inclination would be, this isn't a prank. These are home invaders posing as police. So the policeman talks to them saying that he thinks that they've been in like a high-speed chase yesterday.
Yeah, we had a chase yesterday and last night, and we are trying to investigate who was involved.
He's standing like quite far from the microphone, so it's kind of harder to make out what he's saying. And then they basically go on to say that they think the suspect is in the house and they're like harboring a fugitive.
Okay, they came your address and...
We believe you're harboring a fugitive, so.
Correct.
That's why we're here today, so.
Well, you're what?
Harboring a fugitive from a high-speed chase.
Like a person?
Yes, like
Here?
a live person.
And I know this is all a prank, a laugh out loud hilarious prank, but again, like, I see what they tried to do here, where it's like, we're not arresting you. We're not giving you the trauma. You're harboring someone that's bad. But the thing is, harboring a fugitive, that can give you a sentence of up to 5 years in prison and a fine of $250,000. So to say that this is like a harmless prank that didn't involve them, that is just a flat out lie. Before I go into this a little bit more, I can imagine some people that watch this video that are just saying like, are you defending the millionaires again? Are you defending the rich streamers that sit on their ass all day just talking? I mean, yeah, I kind of am, unfortunately. But again, at the same time, I feel like the job as a streamer, it can be incredibly vulnerable in that sense because swatting is like a viral epidemic because there are so many clips of swatters and that basically encourages other people to do the same thing. And again, like I've said before, like there's been reports that people that have been swatted have actually died over this. You know, if you get swatted in Europe, you'll probably just get a knock on the door. They'll search the house. But in America, they come in with that 12 gauge Remington loaded with slug shots. Not 00 buckshot slug shots to make sure they get that click. They get that clean shot on you from like over 200 meters. So the officers then separate the two, even radioing up for backup at one point. And then later, the police that went upstairs, they come down, dragging this guy away in handcuffs.
It's okay, so we have one suspect in custody. Don't move, stay there.
Thank you, bro.
Well,
This way, motherfucker.
This
way. Hey,
thanks for your cooperation.
Okay.
Sorry.
And then when Adapt and Maya ask, you know, who's the person, who's the fugitive, they just say, don't worry about it. We got him. We got him. It's fine now. Which probably wouldn't calm their nerves at all because they could still be accused of, you know, allegedly harboring a fugitive. So after they drag the guy away, they then start grilling Adapt and Maya, basically asking them questions about what went down.
How you met this person?
This person?
No, the one that we just got out.
I don't know that person.
I've never seen that person in my life.
And obviously they respond by saying, we have no idea who this guy is. We've never seen him in our life. They even get asked for like their names and IDs.
Okay, do you have an idea on you, please?
Yeah, it's upstairs.
Okay,
in my
what is your
bag.
name, Oli?
I'm Alex.
Oh, Alex, okay.
And then they get hit with the bombshell that they're going to be taken down to the station for further questioning.
So I need to take you to the station also?
Me?
Yes, because it's, you're here and the suspect is up there, so.
Now, the thing is, if they ended the prank here, it could be salvageable. I mean, you probably still traumatized these streamers that have like dealt with swatting before, but you know, we can call it a day, bit of an L, but they just keep going.
Just secure him. I just want to tell you.
Me.
You. Now.
1 second.
So Adapt and Maya literally get arrested on stream and they're waiting for like a female officer to come and arrest Maya. Although this female officer doesn't show up.
So we didn't get that email, so we're doing the arrest, the detaining on the lady and the gentleman right here, right now.
I do like that, by the way. Notice how like the hilarious pranksters are still trying to protect themselves because if this goes south, it's like, oh, we can't have a male officer touching you. We need a female officer. But it doesn't even matter anyway because Maya is arrested by another officer who is already on the scene. They also end up doing like pat downs on them to check if they have a weapon on them. And if you look closely at the officer arresting Maya, he basically like hover hands the pat down because it's a prank, but we don't want to get sued. It's a prank, but we don't want to get sued. So, you know, they're doing this weird hover hands because since this isn't an actual arrest, this would be basically straight up sexual harassment.
Just have it, okay?
Go ahead.
And then after that, the pair get taken away. Now, I'm going to ask you guys to use empathy for a minute, something which iDubbbz taught me. Imagine streaming, right? I mean, you probably can't. They're just fucking idiots that just watch videos and talk and play video games and they make millions of dollars. Disgusting creatures. But okay, imagine you're one of them. You know, you're sitting there yapping, trying to do a clip farm. I don't know what streamers do. But then your entire day is completely upended by police coming in to arrest you. Not only that as well, but to drag you out of your own house. Again, I swear there was like 6 different points where this prank could have just been like ended and it would have been a semi-decent clip farm. You did not need to do all that to the point where you're dragging them out the house. The thing is, for a lot of streamers, their home is basically like their personal space. I get it, everyone's home is their own personal space, but with streamers, especially popular ones, so not me, if they go out in public and they stream, they will get swarmed. I mean, okay, look at iShowSpeed, for example. Wherever he goes gets absolutely swarmed, and Maya and Adept aren't anywhere near on that level. I understand that, but at the same time with Speed, he probably treats his home like his temple because it's the only time where he basically gets to de-stress and just kind of, you know, take the mask off and be like, oh. Like, imagine having that stripped away from you. Like the fact that even at home, you're not safe. Also, on top of that as well, not even the police. I mean, the prank of the guy that apparently broke into their house and didn't even know about it. How terrifying would that be to know that there was someone that was like living in your house and you had no idea about it? And it doesn't even stop there because they get put in handcuffs and they're being accused of a crime that they didn't commit. And obviously, as a streamer, you've got thousands of viewers watching you being arrested, and your only thought at the time is this going to be the top post on live stream fail, or are they going to talk about Forzen again? Well, a little bit later into the stream, a single police officer wearing a balaclava comes into the room where Adapt and Maya was streaming. He takes off the mask to reveal
Got him!
It's Eric! Now, if you haven't heard the name, he's a guy with like 17 million subscribers, and he's most notably known for hiding in other people's videos. Now, Eric himself actually got into a lot of drama around a year ago. There was basically a huge expose that he was faking his videos. Again, if you look at his channel, he's just Mr. Beast clone 3005. Him faking videos, like, it genuinely would not surprise me in the slightest. It really is like a fork found in kitchen moment, but for the viewers, they were absolutely heartbroken. But like most YouTubers, he just kept uploading, and because the news cycle is so quick, everyone just forgot. But the thing is, at the end of this like hilarious prank that's probably traumatized these two people for life, he ends up saying, if you're a live streamer, you're not safe. I'm coming for everyone.
If you're out there, you're a live streamer, you're not safe, bro. All right, you're not safe. I'm coming for everyone.
And then as he leaves, Adapt and Maya, they return without handcuffs on.
Bro, the f was that? Yo, I'm tripping out.
And then when they come back in, they're put in a very difficult situation because it's like, if they express how actually uncomfortable that was, they're going to be called like bitches, right? They're going to be called cowards. So they have to kind of act like, wow, we got pranked really bad. Now, there is also a big reveal here as well that Maya was actually in on the prank from the beginning, and she was kind of playing a part as well. So this was almost an entire prank just to kind of get Adapt. But even she says she didn't think the prank would be so realistic.
Maya knew.
I'm sorry, I didn't know it was gonna be that real.
Bro.
That was so scary.
Bro.
I was like, scared. But like, I can't do a bad job because then it would ruin their whole thing. I'm so sorry.
No. Don't say sorry. And it's not an L prank. Honestly, it was I got pranked. I thought I was about to get caught up in some.
Yeah.
But if you read the chat as well, you can see that they're not reacting well at all to this. So they kind of go into like self-defense mode. I mean, Adapt even at one point says that like he's got an attic and sometimes he hears weird stuff up there. And this is like well before this prank was put into place.
Bro, because they genuinely brought someone down, and I have an attic, and I've said this on stream. I sometimes hear in this crib, full blown, there could have been a fugitive living in my roof. So I'm sitting here thinking like, yo, is this actually real? Like, what am I even supposed to say here?
I know I sound like I'm kind of talking about this on like Adapt's behalf, and this could have been like a hilarious prank for him, but he doesn't seem too impressed. He just seems to be very kind of neutral. But again, it's that streamer mode. You really have to kind of like reserve your feelings. And he even talks about himself in the past, how he has been swatted, but he felt that this one was actually serious.
I'm like, okay, we've been swatted a million times on stream before.
Yeah.
They do the whole workaround. They were a little bit more serious this time. I'm like, all right. They're just like making sure.
Like, I find that crazy that the only way that he wouldn't care is because he's been desensitized by being swatted so much. Now, with the reveal of Maya being in on the prank, it sounds like a lot of my arguments have basically been deflated, the opposite of inflated, which is basically my kryptonite. But the internet's reaction to this was really, really bad. One of the biggest people to speak up about this was Cutie Cinderella, and she actually quote tweeted the prank on Twitter, basically saying, not to be this guy, but this isn't fucking funny. At Iraq, I got diagnosed with complex post-traumatic stress disorder from swatting, sobbed as I watched my friends get held at gunpoint, lost my cat from police busting doors open, feared for my life with sniper rifles pointed at me. Explain the joke? This shit still happens every day. It's horrifying. People have died. Like, what the fuck? You obviously had people in the replies saying that, you know, she was like self-inserting, making it all about herself when she wasn't even involved in the situation. But again, like, this is someone who is sharing her own personal experience of a swatting and almost like kind of recreating your trauma in the form of a prank. Yeah, it just doesn't seem like a good look. I just think pranks that play on like kind of public trauma, there is something a bit off about it. I mean, Adapt is with FaZe, obviously. And a lot of FaZe members have actually came out saying that they don't feel safe in their home. And again, like Eric's message is no streamer is safe, I'm coming for you. These guys are being swatted constantly. They always talk about how like the early hours of the morning, people will show up with guns. Like for example, FaZe Ronaldo had to end up getting a 24/7 private security team to watch over him for the next couple of months in fear that someone will do something stupid.
Around like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., midnight, about twice a week, people would come to the house super late saying that they were looking for me. And they had weapons, they had guns, and it wasn't like kids. It was like older people. which, by the way, we have photos of them. The police know, etc. We also have security. I also have 24/7 security on me privately for the next couple months minimum. But we have more security at the house, etc. But it kind of just spooked me because I was like, I don't know how to talk about this because I don't really want to give it attention. I don't want to talk about it, but I also don't want to lie to you guys and say why I haven't been streaming. And then I just look like I'm faking it and I'm trying to like, you know what I'm saying? Like the internet's always going to have its thing, but I was just very scared.
But in general, from what I've seen, a lot of people publicly, they're just not happy with the prank. Because again, like I've said, swatting is a real thing that does happen to people, and kind of trivializing it, it's almost like it could like accidentally popularize it even more. And again, a lot of these streamers are either in LA, the shithole, or Austin, Texas, the tax haven. And especially in LA, like these people get swatted constantly. So yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it's playing on trauma a bit.